Welcome to part 3 of the interior overhaul of my E39 BMW. As you can see, I am currently missing a passenger seat because today I'm going to be showing you how to remove your driver and passenger seat so you can do a really deep clean of all the carpet in the car. This is a great thing to do with any car, whether it's one you've had for a while or one that you just recently bought. If it's more than a couple years old, you're likely going to have a bunch of stuff that is collected between the seats and underneath the seats that you just can't get to any other way. It only takes about 5 or 10 minutes to remove each seat. It's really not that bad. There's 4 bolts, one at each corner. They are a T50 Torx bit, so if you don't have one, make sure you get one before you start. Once you get the 4 bolts removed, you'll have to remove another T50 bolt that attaches the seat belt to the side of the seat, and then you'll have to remove a little spring-loaded clip that adjusts the height of the seat belt as you adjust the seat. So this is what I'm talking about. It is a little spring-loaded wire. It clips to the side of the seat, and it adjusts where the seat belt goes into the door as the seat is adjusted to make sure that the seatbelt is always sitting in your shoulder at the correct height. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff under this seat. It's not really that bad, just a good vacuum and a little scrub with some seat cleaner and everything will be good. But doing this can get rid of a lot of residual smells. Over 20 years, the car is going to pick up some stains, it's going to pick up some wear and tear. So doing this should help it smell a little bit more fresh, so your car smells a little bit less like a 20-year-old vehicle. Now that the passenger side is all clean, we're going to remove the driver's side seat. Again, there are 4 T50 Torx bolts, one on each corner. Then there is a T50 Torx bolt holding the seatbelt in, the wire for adjusting the height of the seatbelt on the shoulder, and of course the electrical connector that allows the seat to be powered. The first thing I'm going to do is move the seat all the way back so I can get to the 2 front bolts. I'll then move it back forward. We'll have to remove 2 small covers to get to the rear bolts. I will then raise the seat up as high as it'll go, and that'll allow me to get to the seatbelt bolt and the wire. Once I'm done with that, I'll tilt the seat backwards, and that'll allow me to remove the electrical connection, and I will then slide it out of the car. It's going to be a lot more difficult on the driver's side. There's really not a lot of room, and getting these seats in and out is a tight fit, so make sure you be careful. You don't want the tracks to scratch any of your interior bits or your paint as you're taking it out. Take your time, be very careful, and I think it's easier to lean the back of the seat a little bit forward. So for some reason, the driver's side seat does not go as far back as the passenger side seat does, so I could not get direct access to the bolts. I had to remove these 2 little plastic covers, one on either side. There is a T30 Torx bit that is in here, and that's what you have to remove. It's very difficult to get to. You can see I tilted the seat all the way up, and I was able to get to it with a ratchet. If you have an air ratchet or an electric ratchet, it makes it a lot easier because it's a really tight space. But once it's out, you have access to the bolts. It's exactly like the passenger side, one on each side in the front. We're now going to move to the back side, and hopefully that'll be a little bit easier. So you can see the back of the track in the very center of the shot. There's a little plastic cover. I'm just going to pop that up with a pry tool. You're going to pop at the back and one spot at the side, and it should slide right out. Be careful with these. They are pretty flimsy, but I took all 4 out and didn't have issue with any of them breaking. So you can see right here, they pop in on the sides. There's 2 clips for the rail, and there's smaller clips over here for the other rail. You don't have to pop those off. If you can pick it up and tilt it, the other side will release pretty easy. This hole right here goes on a post. You can just pry that up. It's just a slip fit. So you can see we've got the 2 different bolt holes, and then tucked down here, just look for this orange tag. You've got the T50 bolt that attaches the seat belt to the seat. Undo that. We'll lean the seat backwards and unhook the wire from the front. You also have that extra adjustable wire, which hooks just up here. It's a little bit difficult to see, but I'll show you when I can lean the seat back. And then with that, we can take the seat out of the car. Don't forget, before you unhook the electrical wire, that you want to make sure the seat is in the position that you want. So you want it in the right position on the tracks, and the back in the right position to make it easier to get it out of the car. With the seat leaned up, you can see where the wire attaches right here. There is a small retaining clip that needs to be popped out, and then this pin can be pushed out, and that will release the wire. It's a little bit difficult to see, But what you're going to need is just get in there with a small screwdriver, pop this retaining clip up, and that will allow this pin to come out. So the seat is now ready to come out of the car. All we have to do is disconnect the electrical wire and reposition it right before we do that. So I'm going to lean the back of the seat forward a little bit to make it easier to come out of a door. I'm going to tuck in the front of the seat there for your leg rest. I'm going to try and make it as small as possible, and I want it to be centered on the tracks. I don't want the tracks to be sticking way out towards the back or way up front. I want it as centered as I can get it. So when I'm pulling it out of a car, I have the smallest chance possible of scratching my paint down here or running into the door card. So here's the electrical connector underneath the car. There's a little gap right here. You can place a screwdriver in and just pry away. Don't force it. Shouldn't be that difficult. And it'll come over. And you'll hear it click when it's at the bottom. And this will just pop out. So the seat is now completely disconnected. Everything's ready to go. So now I'm going to try and wrestle it out of the car. And then you can see just how dirty and disgusting the side of the car is. And we're going to clean all that up and make it like new. Another thing to take advantage of at this time is while the seats and the floor mats are out of the car, you can hit the floor mats with a regular vacuum. You can scrub the seats down. You can get all of the angles and take a leaf blower to the bottom of the seats. Blow all that debris out there. While you've got this out, you want to do everything you can, because once it's back in the car, you can't really get at it the same way. So take advantage of this opportunity to make your car as clean as possible, so that way you can enjoy it more every day. So you can see just how disgusting the driver's side of a car is before being cleaned compared to the passenger side, which has already been cleaned. It's just such a stark difference. The passenger side looks almost brand new. The driver's side, this has 20 years of buildup and nasty and hair and change. So I'm going to get all that cleaned up, I'll vacuum it out, give it a nice shampoo, get everything nice and clean, throw my seats back in, and hopefully it'll make the car smell pretty fresh. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next week.